What's up, guys? We are going to Souls United level 4 for an all mission clear to get the last of KoG's crowns. So, after you clear the first 3 stages, make sure you go grab the crowns and upgrade his shifted skill. Um, but anyway, so the boss is a demon human. It uses fire magic attacks, dark fixed attacks, puts up Mirage, dispels the party, does single target physical, and below 80%, it puts up buffs, cleanses its debuffs, and does big fixed nukes. So it's fun. Kind of a pain, but it's doable. But the missions are no continues, no KOs, clear within 5 turns. So this is the party we're using. The new Reagan's here just for damage. Old Reagan's here for as the breaker. Axstar and Cleom are here for Maneater and Katana and Peril. Oh, and Returned Reagan also gives Demon Killer with his LB and SLB. So if you only have EX1, this could probably still work. You'll just have to find a way to fill his LB by turn 4 and do his LB on turn 4. But yeah, it's a 20% difference in killers. As it stands, this clear is kind of tight. So if you have better gear, by all means, throw that on your units. I just try to keep it cheapish gear. But KoG's here for damage as well. And Rain and Fina, yeah, they're pretty much just whatever damage we can squeak out of them. They're a tag chainer. They're almost a chain bot, but they're as tight as it is. It's whatever contribution we can get, we'll take it. So, but anyway, Dark Lineage Reagan. And just to call it out, there's no fire imperils, but there's 100% dark imperil in the party. So everyone's 100% fire resist in whatever form they're in up until turn 4, and they're 130 dark resist. We are buffing, we're not buffing fire resist, we're buffing dark resist though, with the skill from Anima. So, anyway, yeah. Dark Lineage Reagan is max human, max demon, max LB. So here's his gear. Hopefully it's relatively cheap and accessible. I know it's the plus 10 of the one-handed Dark Visions weapons, but they're pretty old at this point. But we are getting a Katana Imperial. It's only 15% from Axstar and Cleom, but trying to go dual-wield one-handed greatswords on Reagan just nerfed his stats too much. Wasn't getting the job done, so I'm just going with the Katana, even though it's a little lower in peril. But anyway, here's his gear and just the best attack card you can put on him. Return Reagan, dual wielding great swords with a light weapon, and he's at max demon, 275 human, LB damage doesn't matter. So there's his build, and just whatever, the best card you can put on him. I know this one's limited, but there are a lot of other cards with flat stats you could use instead. Axstar and Cleom, passive provoke evade in the base form with and resistances again. Reagan 100 fire, 130 dark. At least 100 fire, at least 130 dark on them. So passive provoke evade, preemptive LB fill, and LB fill per turn. Let's see. And we do need to bump up their fill rate. They're not guaranteed to get their LB by the kill turn. Let's see. High tide on that one. Do we have High Tide on? Any of Ling's? I think I do. Yeah. Is he still 100 evade? No. Do we have room to slot in physical evasion here? Yeah, we could. We can drop that. Yeah, looking for evasion here. No, don't need killers. So max LB fill, full evasion, and just LB fill rate wherever you can fit it. And then Tullian's card for some provoke and evasion. Then shift form. They're more or less just starting the chain on the final burst turn. You could probably get by without even gearing them in the shift form. But they're at 225 demon, 250 human. I mean, they're chaining dark, and the boss is innately 120 dark resist, and we're only getting 100 in peril. So, again, we'll see what their damage looks like. But again, they are on Anima, and they have the 70% dark resist skill learned. Knights of Grand Shell, just some damage in the base form, some resistances, max human, max demon, 200 LB. So there's that. Then shift form. Pretty sure there are no fire attacks on turn 3, which is the first time they're shifting. So they can get by with a little lower fire resist in the shift form, it seems. They still need the 130 dark. But we're buffing fire resist on turn 4, so it's fine. But he's at 300 demon, 300 human, max LB. And again, I was trying to keep the gear kind of budget. I mean, if you have Titus's STMR, put that on his base form. Give Reagan Titus's, or Dark Lineage Reagan Titus's STMR if you have it. It just would help overall. As it stands, this clear is kind of tight, so. But anyway, yeah, there's all that. Just another high attack card. And yeah, Rain and Fina, just a card that gives flat stats. They are crowned, and sadly, they still are not that good. They're only at 275 demon, 250 human. Can't even cap out TDH or LB damage. But they're better than Fina and Saul, which I was trying to use earlier, and that really wasn't working out. But there's their gear. Then shift form, just resistances. Oh, and they're a little low on fire, 130 dark in the base form. But like I said, they're going to be buffing fire resist. Shift form. Yeah, just basically resistances, and then Zidane's STMR. And they're starting in the shift form. So, all right, let's get into it. Okay. So, need to buff Dark Resist with Axstar and Cleome from Anima's skill. Rain and Fina are going to start singing. So we are going to LB Reagan, but like I said, if you don't have an EX2 Reagan, you can just try, breaking and then triple casting Bolting Strike. We're getting a break from Obsidian Bracer. I mean, or you could use his, you could equip his TMR and use the Lightbreaker skill. But we'll go ahead and just do his LB. We'll triple Bolting Strike with Dark Lineage Reagan, and then LB with Knights of Grand Shell. So we'll just send Knights of Grand Shell, wait a second or two, and then send the Chainers. Okay. So we're resisting everything, some single target physical, but we got dispelled and the boss put up Mirage. So Dark Lineage Reagan is just gonna Mirror of Equity 3 times to get rid of some of that Mirage. Return Reagan is going to do his Grandis break and then imperil Fire and Light. Then Knights of Grandshell are going to fill their LB and then just punch twice. Then Axstar and Cleum are going to refresh our Dark Resist since they got dispelled. Okay. And I intentionally didn't imbue Reagan just to keep from doing too much damage and pushing the threshold this turn. So we're going to Mirror of Equity 3 times with him. Other Reagan is going to Mirror of Equity 3 times. We're going to shift Knights of Grandshell and do their shifted LB. And we're going to wait on Axstar and Cleum. It's kind of hit or miss whether their LB's full at this point. So this chaining we're about to do should, hopefully, you'd get drops on them to fill them up the rest of the way. So we'll just pretend like their LB's not full. But we don't want to do too much damage this turn. But, well, I found that if you just spark chain both of the Reagans and Knights of Grandshell, that's just about enough damage to put the boss around 81 or 82% health, which is right where we want it. If you send Knights of Grandshell too early, then you don't do enough damage. If you send him too late, then you do too much. So this is more often than not, he ends up around 82%. If you get like a high variance roll on Knights of Grandshell, you might push the threshold and you just have to retreat and come back in. But we'll just send them all at the same time. Okay, pretty comfortable with that. And now we will base form LB, Axstar and Cleum. Okay, so we did just get dispelled again, so we will refresh our Dark Resist. Rain and Fina are done singing. They're going to go to the base form. Put up Fire Resist with Blazing Veil, Blazing Blood for their 15% fire amp, then Crimson Lotus for an LB modifier. Reagan Dark Lineage is going to imbue fire, put up his LB modifier, and then Mirror of Equity. And the boss put up 4 stacks of Mirage again, so this should be just enough to get rid of all of that. Knights of Grandshell, they're going to do their light amp and then Mirror of Equity twice. And Return Reagan is going to either LB or SLB. Let me see. Does he have anything that fills his LB? Okay. So you could have on turn 1 just used this Grandis and then punched a couple times. Yeah, use the Grandis and then break and then light and peril on turn 1 if you don't have EX2. And then you could do his LB this turn. But since he's EX2 for me, we're able to do this. So we'll just send all of them. And like I said, that should be just enough to get rid of all the Mirage. Okay, now Dark Lineage Dragon is going to SLB. We're going to Mirror of Equity 3 times with Return Reagan. Axstar and Cleum are going to shift. They're going to give us Human Killer from Assassin's Distance. And then just one of their tag chain skills a couple times. Rain and Fina are going to LB. Knights of Grandshell are going to shift at LB. So we're going to send Axstar and Cleom. As soon as we hear their second skill cast, we'll send Rain and Fina. We're going to wait about a second or two, and then send the Mirror of Equity Chainers and Knights of Grandshell. Boom. Got it. So, like I said, it's not a huge slam dunk, but if you have better gear, if you have Titus as SGMR, throw that on your units and it should be a bit more comfortable. So let's see. So yeah, I mean, Knights of Grandshell did the bulk of that. They had the best amp out of anyone. So, but I mean, Dark Lineage Dragon, he's not he did what, a third of their damage. But anyway, so there's an all mission clear for you with no Fina, at least. I know that's not everyone has her, but I think the rest of these units are old enough that hopefully you have all of them. I think Sinzar has a video out there with Dark Rain. So, I mean, that's always an option. I mean, if you have him crowned with his 150 amp, even though the boss is dark resistant, I'm sure, well, as, Sinzar's video probably shows, he's strong enough to just take care of it with his crowned skills. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope it helped. Later.